guys, what's popping? I hope you guys are doing absolutely great and life is going good on your side. Even if it's not, God is good. Now, as you can see, I made some absolutely delicious, spectacular braised lamb shank. Let me tell you, this one is number one in the books. I have so many number one in the books. But anyways, this was so good, so flavorful, so tender, so juicy. If you want a dish that's full of flavor, this one is the one to go with. Alright, so if you think it's looking real good, definitely hit that subscribe button. If you haven't already, show your girl some love. Thank you very much, and like the video. Alright, so let's get started. So first, I have the lamb shanks here. They're washed and cleaned, and I'm just patting them dry. And I'm going to lightly season, lightly but not lightly, okay? They said you should just go in with some salt and pepper, but I just can't allow myself to do that. So I went in with salt and pepper and some garlic powder, onion powder, and just a little bit more jazz to that. You don't want to put a lot of seasoning because it's gonna burn if you put too much, and you'll see what I'm talking about later on. But anyways, yeah, I just did the best I could and put a little extra seasoning on there and get it all rubbed in. And once we get the seasoning all over the lamb shank, of course we let it marinate for a while. And now that it's ready, we're just going to put some olive oil in this heated cast iron pot. And we're going in with the first one and then the second one. And we're just going to let them sear on each side as much as we can. Get it brown all around as much as we can, and that's just to lock the salt and pepper and all the other little seasonings that we put on. That's just to lock it in. I know that one over there is looking a bit shabby. You know, it's looking like it really got burnt, but don't worry, it's alright. I promise. And as I said, we try to get all sides of the lamb shank brown all around. And right about now, they're just about ready. They're pretty much looking brown everywhere, and that's the best as it gets because they're oddly shaped. So I'm just gonna take those out and put them in a pan and set them aside. Now for this braised lamb shank, you're gonna need some vegetables as your base. And as you can see, I washed some celery and carrots. That's what you're gonna need for this. And they're all clean, and I'm just gonna go in and give them a nice chop up. It doesn't have to be, you know, all neat and fancy. This is just to flavor your gravy. But you can be neat and fancy if you like. I was being a bit neat and fancy because I just like that. And then I'm going in, that's a whole onion that I'll be cutting up. I'm just doing half at a time. Once everything is all chopped up, I just went and added them to that same pan that I seared the lamb shanks in. we're just going to stir fry them a bit. Also to these vegetables, I'll be adding some butter, and I will also be seasoning them, because as you can see, the lamb shanks, they didn't get a lot of seasoning, right? So we want to go back in with some garlic powder, some chili powder, some onion powder. I also added some sloppy mama, some Tony's Creole, whatever seasoning you have in your pantry, as I always say, that you like to use. You're just going to season your vegetables. This is going to ensure maximum flavor in this dish. Alright? Once you do that, you just give it a good toss around, stir it up with a spoon, and let it keep frying or sauteing, okay? And then after that, we're just going to go in with some tomato paste. This is about 1/4 cup to 1/2 cup of tomato paste. I shifted the vegetables over to the side a bit so that the tomato paste could fry on its own space before I combine it in with the vegetables. Now that the tomato paste is stirred in, I just went ahead and added in about 3 to 4 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, and we're just going to mix that around and get the raw flour taste cooked out. Now I'm just going with some red wine, whichever red wine of your choice. And that's about 2 cups of red wine that I'm using there. You could go in with 1/2 cup more, but that's good to start with, because shortly after this I'll be going in with some beef broth, and that will be about another 2 cups of beef broth. Just gonna give that a good stir. So that's 2.5 cups of beef broth that I added. We're just gonna mix that around again. It's a lot of stirring, getting all the flavors combined. And then I'm going in with about 10 cloves of garlic. I mean, it depends on your taste, whatever you like. If you want to use 4, 6, 8, but for me, yeah, I went in with 10, and then some thyme leaves, some dried rosemary stalks, and some bay leaves. That's about 4 to 5, and we're just going to stir that around. And of course, you give it a little taste. You gotta taste the food now. Taste it, and if it's to your liking, then you can move along. But if it's not, then you could definitely go in with some more powdered seasonings at this point, and that's exactly what I did. I just went in with a bit more sloppy mama, a little bit more Tony's, a little bit more garlic powder, and so on, until it was right where I needed it to be. Alright, so now that that's all done, we're just going to go ahead and put those lamb shanks in. I decided to flip it on the other side. I think it was working better that way. Alright, so we're just going to put them in. Now, the shanks are not to be completely covered with the sauce, you're supposed to be seeing some of the meat as you're seeing it right now, because it's braised, right? So we're just gonna cover that, and we're gonna stick it in the oven on 350 for about 1.5 to 2 hours. But you're gonna definitely test it first. This one is a long one, but it's definitely worth it. It's gonna be so good after. And now that time has passed, and as you can see, it's out the oven and it's just looking absolutely gorgeous. Take it in real quick. And it's nice and tender. Okay, we're just gonna test it with a fork, see how easy that comes off. That's how you want it. And the gravy and everything has come together. Yeah, totally delicious. I just love this view right here. If you think it's looking good, come on, hit that like button, subscribe. All right, comment down below what you're thinking. All right, so now we're just going to transfer the shanks into a plate. I don't know if you could see that, but it hardly made it from the pot to the plate without falling apart. That's how tender it is. So this one was playing around, didn't want to come up. I have to be specific how I hold it to make sure it doesn't fall apart. All right, and now we're just gonna get a fresh pot, a strainer. We're just gonna strain that gravy off, and all of the herbs and vegetables that we used will be left behind. If you want, you could leave it in there, you could puree it and put it in there, or you could just do it just like I'm doing now. All the flavors already right where it needs to be. And as for me, I just went in with a bit of Sweet Baby Ray barbecue sauce. You don't have to do this, but that's just me. Okay, either some ketchup or some barbecue sauce. Now that the gravy's ready, I served this with some mashed potatoes. As you can see, I washed, peeled, cut, and boiled these. Okay, it's not from the box. No shade if you have to use the box, but these were made freshly by me. I added some melted butter and cream, and that's how I got that delicious creamy mashed potatoes. And thereafter, I also served this up with some nice broccolinis that I just sauteed lightly in butter and light seasoning. And there it comes. Okay, is that looking lovely? I'm hungry all over again. And here comes that beautiful braised lamb shank falling off the bone. As you can see, it was looking real good. It's looking real good. And I'm just gonna pour some nice hot gravy over that. Oh yes, absolutely just delicious. Right, and there you have it. It's all plated and it's ready to be eaten. Okay, that's how it's looking. Once again, if you think it's looking good, definitely hit that like button and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Show your girls some love, okay? Show this plate some love. And I'm just gonna go ahead and give you guys the first bite because you deserve it. Why not? Time for me to go in and smash that good old taste test. All right, y'all, so it's time for me to have this absolutely delicious braised lamb shank. And it's time for me to go in for the taste test. I already know it's good. Personally, I've had braised lamb shank at a restaurant before. It was alright. You know, it was alright for the first time. They did it good. It was a Greek restaurant and whatever. But here we go. I made it myself and it's flying. Let's go in. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Okay. I did that. Just absolutely flavorful. The shank is tender and juicy. All the flavors are coming through out of this shank right now. And the mashed potatoes, listen, I don't know, but it's just great. I didn't taste the broccolini yet, but that's the least of my worries right now. Vegetables will always be vegetables. Pretty sure they taste good too, but yeah. Mm-hmm. It's just falling apart. Here we have it. I hope you guys enjoy this video as much as I'm enjoying this food. And give it a try at home. Make it for yourself.